I hit the button feeling good. I was like, we're ready. Let's do this.
One victory this season. And you're like, I can do anything.
I, I,
Hey, we
I'm,
both got dubs. We both got dubs this week.
I know. I feel good about it, man. I was
Super
stressing.
Bowl? Super Bowl bound?
I wouldn't be surprised if we meet.
If Fitzpatrick takes us to a Super Bowl, Tua will never see the field. Fitz will be 47, still leading the Dolphins.
Right? We just signed him to a multi-year, $1 million contract.
Just upped Pat Mahomes.
Fucking quarterback from Harvard. Killing the game out there. Ooh, that was
You get a
four.
victory. You get a Dolphins hat and a Dolphins whiskey glass.
I should have done something, but
I mean, the Lions actually won a game, so I bet you feel as strong as Thanos right now.
I do, man. I do. I was just like, I need something to represent power.
Cheers to victory, my man.
Cheers to victory. Yeah, that was good. All right, should we get this thing going?
Yeah, whiskey sucks.
Sorry to hear that.
It's alcoholic though, so we're gonna keep drinking it.
Yeah. Well, let me intro and I think I came to a conclusion on something. So,
Right.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Proficient Fans. My name is CB, and with me is
Clay Haggard.
Clay. What's poppin', man?
What's poppin' is your boy knows how to fucking bet on four pick parlays. That's what
What's up.
had to get that money this weekend. It was great. A lot of success in sports.
What games?
So I had
What you got? Swedish fish?
I got some Skittles.
Oh, that's what's up.
I had the Heat winning 2 nights ago. I had the Lakers winning. It wasn't last night. Thursday night. Sorry, I had the Heat Wednesday. I had the Lakers and the Dolphins Thursday, and then I had Adesanya winning his fight last night.
Oh,
those are the 4 picks I had. So I think it was like, I think I put $25 on it, and I actually ended up winning more than I thought. I ended up winning $277 off of it.
Off a $25 bet?
Yeah.
I need to start gambling, man.
Yeah, well, there's a reason you're finally hearing of me winning for the first time ever now. So
I know, but I mean, like, I think I would have. I mean, I think I would have. I definitely had those games. I would have fight. I would have easily put money in. Izzy, man.
Yeah, dude.
So good week there. What'd you do this week? Just kick it. That's what's up.
Yeah, dude. Sorry, I'm smashing up on these Skittles right now.
I was just like,
these are great.
He had a day.
He's like, I had a day. Give me the sugar.
Man, I went to a buddy of mine. His oldest son has. They did a scramble for his son's baseball team. So I went and did that yesterday, and I came to the conclusion of something, man. I may be an alcoholic because of the fact that when we came up to it was a par 5, and we were on in 2, and we just passed the clubhouse, and my buddy had bought some, what were they, those fireball shots. They had them in the bottles.
Yeah.
And he's, I'll take 4 of those. He's like, that's for our next eagle. And I was just like, so we're on in 2. I walk up, and normally I'm hitting I normally just hit around 3. I like to know if I can just be nutso and not worry about anything, or if I have to actually club down and try and concentrate. And I just went up there, threw my ball down. One guy's just like, "You feeling it, huh?" I was like, everybody was dicking around. I was like, I figured I'd just putt real quick, get out the way. And he goes, "CB wants that shot." About 14-foot putt and hit that bitch down. And I was just like, yeah, let's do that shot now.
Yeah, no kidding. You like, give me all 4.
Yeah, I told him at the beginning of the scramble. I go, look, guys, you're not gonna use a lot of my shots, but I will give us some. And so that's kind of how the day went for me there. And
I feel like that's the good thing about like doing scrambles, though, man. Is like, as long as you contribute a shot.
Yeah.
Every other hole, you're contributing.
Yeah. So it was
even
a
if
good
you have
time.
even if you have a bad round, man, you hit one putt like that, you get an eagle as a team, and then you win some skins.
Yep.
I've had scrambles where we've gone out, finished barely in the top 10, but because we had like an eagle or like a birdie on a tough hole, we end up winning skins. At the end of the day, it's all about return on investment.
Right.
So as long as I'm getting something in return for being out there, that's a victory.
Yep. So did that, and then the missus she left town to go. Where'd she go? Toledo, over by Toledo.
What the hell's in
Uh,
Toledo?
uh, her and another girl's friend. So or woman.
Exciting.
And so they threw, they were at some little gathering or whatever for them to enjoy. But man, I sat there. My neighbor yelled at my dogs, and he says, and then he told me, he said, we're gonna break this down real quick. Somebody says, shut those fucking dogs up. Did they just cuss at you?
I don't know.
I'm just trying to see if I feel the wrong way.
I mean, so your neighbors just yelled at you?
When I sat there and because I was, where I got that lattice at, I walked around the corner and I go, huh? What? Hey, and he had stepped out the house, said it, and walked back in, and I yelled his name, come outside, and I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't even cuss him. I go, what did you just say? I was like, and he goes, man, I was like, did you just cuss at me? I was like, yo, this dude, my neighbor just cussed at me. I was just like, he's like, man, I love you, man, but the dogs. And I was just like, no, let's talk about you cussing at me. And on back of my head, all I can think of is I'm getting ready to get in a fight and go to jail, and I ain't got nobody to take care of my babies because my wife is out of town. I was hot, man. I was just like, I don't know.
I mean, I would say it was an attack. Like, there was obviously ill intent by saying, shut those fucking dogs up. I mean, do you talk to this neighbor, on passing?
We used to talk. We don't really talk that much anymore, because
I guess they could have just been like, hey, CB.
Yeah.
These dogs are going bonkers, man.
Never once said anything to me, and just said that, and I go, I wasn't even mad about him yelling. Well, I was a little aggravated about yelling at my dog, but I mean,
I would say there was some ill intent. I mean, that's why I was asking if you guys talk in passing. Because if you say what's up every now and then, and they say some shit, and then you would have called them out and been like, hey, man, my fault. I'm having a bad day. I got a headache. I'm tripping. Dogs are just being loud. No, that's what I'm saying. There could have.
No, fuck that. That was hot, dude.
Yeah, I guess. I guess just putting them in check, and if they check themselves after you call them out, I'd be like, pass.
I didn't see the guy the rest of the day or the rest of the night or rest of the day, but
you say, excuse me, what did you just say to me? And then they check themselves. I say it's a pass. But they obviously didn't do that, so.
Well, I mean, he's like, yo, man, I love you. And I'm like, yo, no, don't cuss at me. I don't care what you got to say.
Yeah, well, yeah. I would say I don't think you did anything wrong.
All right.
I don't know. If I were you, I'd probably just shut your fucking dogs up, but that's just me.
Well, actually, I was walking around the corner to do so, and that's when I was just like, yo, it was so in my fucking face. What's that?
Just gonna punt him?
Punt him? Oh, yeah. No.
Shut up!
Yeah, no, I don't do that, but don't need PETA on us.
I can cuss at my dog, but you don't cuss at me.
Yeah.
You say you just get peed on?
What's that? I said don't get PETA on us.
Don't get peed on either.
Yeah, don't get peed on either. I'm not worried about that.
Get shit on.
Shitting on them. Let's get in some sports, man. I had to get that off my chest. I was like, yo, was I in the wrong?
I'm glad you feel better. Clearly it don't matter what I said because you don't feel like you were in the wrong.
Yeah,
I don't think you were there for me to confirm anything other than you just basically wanted to make sure everybody knew if you cuss, someone cusses at you, you're gonna come after them. So.
No, it was I was so tired, man. I was up so early and I fucking swung them and drank bloodies and beers and shots. I was a wreck, man. And I was just like, yo, I'm not trying to hear you. I'm not trying to hear these fucking dogs either. I
Bitch,
was on
don't
my way
kill
to
my
shut them up.
vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibes.
Like, you gonna cuss at me, man? Don't do that. Especially when I gotta see you on the regular. Nah, just got me hot. Anyways, football.
You would leave your Lakers
I don't know if
for
we.
last.
What's that?
Would you leave your Lakers for last?
I mean, it's the bigger story.
Disagree. I think the Lions winning a football game is a bigger story.
I'll let you have that.
Yeah, right. I knew the Lakers are going to a finals. I didn't realize the Lions were going to win a game.
Oh, I knew we weren't going 0-16, but
that's what you said in 2012.
No, I wanted since you guys played on Thursday, shut your fucking whore mouth.
Hey, what did you just say to me?
Yeah, right. That was blatant. I was blatant on that one. There was no mistaking when I'm talking. No, so you guys played Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
That was
we handled Jacksonville. Did it in the spotlight, national television.
That was a pretty impressive win.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now Shark wasn't out or was out, so I mean that hurt.
I was a little upset that everyone just kept talking about how bad Jacksonville looked and not the improvement of Miami. More so from a commentator standpoint. Because I was like, damn, no, granted, clearly I've watched all the Dolphin games, but like I had some friends texting me and I was telling them, and I was like, I know Jacksonville doesn't look good right now. They didn't look good at all.
Right.
Offensively or defensively. But I was like, I saw a distinct improvement in Miami's offensive efficiency, number one. That was number one.
Right.
And number two, the thing people don't realize is Byron Jones was hurt with a groin injury. Our number one cornerback. You know what I mean? So we actually had our rookie, Noah, I would have to see it, Igbenogany. I didn't even have to look it up. Noah Igbenogany. Boom. And and some other guys step up and play some great defense for us. So we actually got some sacks. That was pretty awesome. But no, man, Fitzpatrick came out and balled. I mean, he absolutely balled out, dude. I think his passer rating in the first half was like 144. Perfect passer rating. So he actually came out. He killed it. Myles Gaskin looked good on the ground again. Obviously, Mike Gesicki had another good game. So, yeah, man, I was super pumped with what I was seeing. Next week we have Seattle, so we'll see how that goes. Mr. Russell Wilson, 14 touchdowns in 3 games.
Right,
he's silly. High most touchdowns ever from a quarterback in the first 3 games of a season.
This week's highlight, a quarterback for CB who's not they didn't win today, but I have been very impressed with this year, has been Dak Prescott.
Good thing I didn't keep him.
I was gonna say he was a shooting man, like to try, because how far was Seattle up? They were up by a point.
I had it on
at one point. Yeah, I was say like I was just in highlights. I had the lines on. But I felt like they were up by a few scores, and Dak is and I mean, we're week 3 now, so and every week he's kind of balled out. So that's my quarterback highlight of the week. Last week was Joe Burrow. This week it's Dak Prescott, because watching what he did to, get to try. I mean, did you see the end where he almost got sacked?
Yeah, how crazy athletic was that?
You know what I mean?
Stay on his feet.
I'm sitting there, I'm just like, there's no quitting this guy. Like he's definitely worth the money, Jerry. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're trying to build that team. You already paid Zeke, pay him, and keep it moving. You got Amari Cooper. Yeah, man, I was happy with that Lion dub, but we're question marks, man. Question marks.
Yeah, I mean, what were you thinking after the game? Because I mean.
Well,
I thought to see your defense step up and actually get 3 interceptions, I thought was incredible.
No, not the defense. It was on the offensive side. Yeah. Just the calling of that part.
Yeah. I mean, but I mean, you got to get the ball back.
Yeah. No, I mean our defense was solid. Like Okuda, he had what did he do? He had a holding call And then he came right back with that interception in the third quarter. Was that third quarter? Third, fourth quarter. Um, and he guarded fucking DeAndre Hopkins all day.
Mm-hmm. That's
DeAndre
what.
didn't. Let's just. I need to point out he never saw the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
Now he had 100 and some yards, but you can't. Let's see, how many yards did he have? He had 137 yards, but didn't see the end zone. I'll take that shit.
That's impressive.
And he did get juked out of his fucking jock by Kyler Murray.
I mean, who doesn't?
I know. And you know what was funny is I felt like they were just talking about how he was short, and maybe he didn't see, a certain uh, uh, defender. And I was just like, well, guess what? He's low to the fucking ground, and he's got a low center of gravity. He just juked the shit out of our guy to walk into the end zone. That was a little tough to watch, doubly because of the fact that you had him this week as your QB. So I was like, well, shit.
Not that it's helping me much. Kamara already scored.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. We forgot to hype this week
Which
up.
is ironic because I have Kamara in another league making a comeback. So it's kind of like, do I root for or against Kamara? I mean, I'd rather beat you just to spite you. So.
I was gonna say, like, who would you rather lose to?
Oh, dude, my online league, I could care less.
Yeah, Kamara has to go unconscious for me to win in the other league.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna lose to Ben.
I was on the phone with my dad today, and we were somehow or another I was fixing a leaf blower, and I was like, yeah, I'm trying to get this knocked out real quick so I can get in there and catch the Lions game before it kicks off and all that. And he goes, I don't watch them. Then he starts talking about theatrics and all this stuff, and then he starts shitting on the Lions. And I was just like, all right, Pops. I was just like, just so you're aware, we don't want you back on that wagon when we start winning. I'm like, you jumped off, stay off.
Yeah, right.
I was just like, I'm like, yo, you in the ocean reaching for a fucking life preserver? No, we are. If once we start fucking winning, I don't want to hear you start,
Sure.
being like, yo, Nah, I hold a grudge on my dad now. I'm like, you shit on my team like that?
So,
yeah, I thought about your Mr. Haggard, and I was just like, you would never shit on the team like where he's like, I'm not watching that shit. Shut up.
He's been close. He's been fucking close, dude. He still say it, but he doesn't mean it. He's just venting. But there have been times when he's contemplated, like, why do I watch them? Which there's not a chance. He'll be there every Sunday. There's zero chance my dad would not watch the Dolphins.
See, I was like, man, I hate to cut you off, Dad.
Yeah.
But the Lions bagwagon you shall not roll with any longer.
So I'm going to ask you this just to keep it in the realm of football.
Yeah.
So the Colts beat the Jets today. And for the people who don't know, I do Survivor football leagues. That's where you pick one team each week to win their matchup. If you are correct, you move on to the next week. If you are incorrect, you are eliminated from the league. So week 1, I picked the Chiefs, who won. Week 2, I picked the Packers, who won. And this week, I picked the Colts, who won. So I'm moving on to week 4. And week 4, I think there's some easier picks, which I probably will take the Ravens over the Redskins. I'm feeling pretty safe with that pick. But I was going to ask you if you were to look at week 4, other than, never mind, you'd probably pick Seattle over Miami. Never mind. I was going to ask you to pick another matchup that you thought would be a super solid pick.
I mean, that's the second one.
Because I got a lot of money riding on this, bro. If I can win both of these Survivor leagues, $4,700.
Oh,
nice
shit.
Chunk of change, bro.
What's the buy-in for those?
One league is 100 and the other league's 50.
Okay. Huh. I mean, yeah, I would.
I mean, I feel like week 4 is easy. I feel like
Yeah, I was
You
gonna say
got
like
Seattle over Miami. You got Baltimore over Washington. You got Arizona over Carolina.
well,
I
yeah.
even think the Los Angeles Rams over the Giants is a
You shitting on
solid
the
pick.
Giants like that?
Packers
I
over
mean,
the Packers
what are
over
they?
the
0-3?
Yeah.
They're not gonna be 0-4. I think they pull off that dub. Who are they playing again?
Rams in LA,
Yep,
so they're traveling to the West Coast.
due for a dub. They're not going on 4.
You want to put money on it? My money says Aaron Donald destroys Daniel Jones in his non-existent backfield.
Oh yeah, Saquon's gone.
Just saying.
What you
There's a
think they're gonna?
Hey, there's a reason I'm 3-0.
See, this is a new realm of league. There's different thinking now.
I still say Baltimore over Washington or Seattle over Miami. As much
That's
as I
the guarantee.
hate picking against my own team,
So
I just don't see the Dolphins beating Seattle.
you don't think they can ride that momentum, man?
There's a chance. I'm just saying, like $4,700 worth. I'll pick against my own team if I have to. Most likely, I'll probably go Baltimore over Washington or Arizona over Carolina.
Dude, Tannehill beat Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm. Titans are also a much better team than the Dolphins, unfortunately.
No, I was talking about even when didn't Tannehill's beat Tom Brady when he was a Dolphin.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So I'm just saying, and those were even worse teams than what you have now.
Yeah, but Seattle's also better. Seattle's a better team than those Patriots ever were. On paper.
Paper means dick. Ask the Clippers. No, I'm not trying to switch up.
Facts.
I'm not trying to switch us up, but I just
Hey, shout out Phillip Rivers, 6th quarterback ever to have 60,000 passing yards and 400 touchdowns. He joins an elite group, which includes Dan Marino.
What do you think about everybody, talk about elite groups? What do you think? I feel like Drew Brees has been getting shit on this year.
He has been getting shit on. And the funny thing is, I mean, he hasn't been lights out. No, I'll admit that. But the thing is he's still Drew Brees. Like in the total of what he's done in his career, like it's impossible to shit on Drew Brees in my opinion. It's just that when you have expectations so high from a former MVP, Super Bowl MVP, you expect him to always be good.
Right.
And like kind of like Brett Favre, now the only difference is Brett Favre went to a different team. But I mean, no one was shitting on Tom Brady for his first loss. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing is like no one's sitting there talking shit about Tom Brady in his mediocre games. But everyone wants to just jump right on Drew Brees and smack talk.
Is it because he's probably right now like, and I know we're watching Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees, who could arguably be put in this conversation. Well, Aaron Rodgers could definitely be part of this conversation, even though I would like him not to be. But do you think it's like he's the most dominating quarterback right now in this era for that old era? Yeah, for that older era of quarterback. Because, like you look at everybody that's kind of his class of quarterback right now. Not the new guys, not Lamar, not Deshaun, not Dak, not those guys, not Pat Mahomes. I'm talking about like these older style quarterbacks that have been in the league for 10 plus years.
Yeah.
And would you say he was?
I would say he's up there as probably number one.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Or Russell Wilson. Russ has been there since what, 2009?
Yeah.
So I'd say he's up there too.
Who'd you put there though? The number one spot. You got to put one.
I mean, if I had to pick one, I would probably say Drew Brees. I think Drew Brees is the man.
It's just like
Brady. I guess technically Tom Brady would probably be number one. He would probably be number one.
Here's the thing. It's like I don't think
say Rodgers or Russ. One of those two.
I don't even really consider Tom Brady in that kind of a conversation because like I think it's disrespectful. I know you have no respect for him, but it's mad disrespectful because when you're talking about the conversations of what you're gonna have you're having that with Peyton Manning and legends of the game. Now these guys will go down as a certain tier of legend, but Tom Brady is up there with Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, Joe Montana. Those guys. That's who you're putting him with. Are we putting Drew Brees there? I think he's the closest one out of that entire group that we just spoke about. That you could put him in there.
I would say yes.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is like he's the only one out of that tier that I'm trying to like put together here that makes sense to be talked about with.
I mean, yeah, that's still playing. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Phillip Rivers would be there if he won. If he won more and had more success in the postseason, he'd be up there too, man. Like those numbers are there. You know what I mean?
Phillip Rivers get disrespected because of the fact that like I
don't even think he gets disrespected. It's that he doesn't even get acknowledged.
That's the disrespect I'm talking about. That's the disrespect I'm talking about. Like,
what about Matt Stafford, man? He's been there over a decade.
He's in that tier. But I mean, like, he's nowhere near Breeze. He's nowhere. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm sitting here trying to put together that list, he's gonna go down. He's gonna go down as one of my legends because he's a lying quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. But it depends on the conversation I'm having whether or not I know I can actually try to, without getting laughed out the room, bring Matt Stafford's name up.
You have to talk about quarterbacks who have had long-term success with one franchise.
Yeah, I mean, that's where you sit there and
then he would come into play.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's a niche conversation piece for when you saw quarterbacks.
You want to know the best quarterback who's ever won? Dan Marino, then Matt Stafford.
Yeah, right. Like, which is a fair say.
You want to have a relevant quarterback conversations?
Oh.
Man, these Skittles are fucking slapping, bro. These are great.
All I can think about, I see you just fucking nonstop popping. Dude, like, I got one of them 5-pound bags. It's not 5 pounds anymore because me and my youngest go.
Yeah, right. Your half-pound bag.
Yeah, like if that's probably a quarter by now, but like of Swedish fish, but like different flavors. You know what I mean? Like they got all the different flavors and
tropical minis.
Oh no, I don't like any of those tropical bullshits.
No,
they fucked up Sour Patch Kids with them, and
I like tropical. I just don't like the pina colada.
Yeah, I don't like them.
That's fair.
They disrespect my candy.
The originals are great, man.
Oh, by itself.
I mean, you see the kind of candy we used to put out when we were recording in person.
Yeah, right. I'm actually probably that's what I was gonna say for the time that we haven't been doing it in person. That's actually been the thankful thing is I'm not eating candy like that nonstop. It's like not part of my weekly like, yo, what am I gonna get this week? Woo!
I'll be excited to go back to sharing whiskey though.
Yes, that will be nice.
2-year anniversary in 7 days.
I know.
We have our own anniversary, CB. How pumped are you?
Why you gotta make it sound weird?
You forgot hey, you forgot when you got married, but you sure as fuck remember when you and your boy did your first podcast.
Right? I don't.
Well, not to say you don't know you and your wife's anniversary.
I was gonna say we got married on a holiday. If I fuck that up, then I deserve to be in trouble.
Yeah, fucking October 4th, goddamn holiday.
Independence Day, where I lost my dependence.
That's ironic.
Yeah.
All right, football.
What else we got in football world? Anything NFL related? Oh, you know what?
Nothing I care about talking about.
You wanna shine some light for a bright part of our sport?
I mean, I don't know if there's much light to be shined on it, but
we'll talk about how fucking wonderful this person was.
Right. So, even though I was not alive during these phenomenal years for this gentleman, Gale Sayers passed away. I want to say this was a couple days ago. Passed away at the age of 77 after living with dementia. He was an outstanding running back for the Chicago Bears. I know he did a lot of kick and punt returning also. Nicknamed the Kansas Comet. He did play 7 years with the Chicago Bears. Racked up just under 5,000 total yards from the line of scrimmage and 39 touchdowns. And the amazing thing is he did that in 7 seasons. Like that just blew me away. when I heard that.
Why?
And go
And
ahead.
if well, I mean, not to take the history from the fantastic, probably one of the greatest sports movies of all time, Brian's song, he had to share time first starting out.
Brian Piccolo.
Yeah.
I remember
So
seeing that movie before I even knew who Gale Sayers or Brian Piccolo was.
the shit made me cry. And I
Mm-hmm.
watched it at school. And try to be cool crying in school.
Facts. As a kick returner, he had 6 touchdowns, averaged over 30 yards return, and he had 2 punt returns on top of that. Unfortunately, his career did get cut short. That's why he only got 7 seasons in. He had multiple knee injuries, and after the second one happened, he just was unable to recover and be what he used to be. But he was the youngest player ever inducted into the Football Hall of Fame at 34 years of age, which is just ridiculous, especially since people play until they're over 40 years old
Yep.
now. He was first ballot. I know we were just talking, what was it, last week? About
Yep.
first ballot Hall of Famers. I mean, Gale Sayers was one of them. And he was a 5-time All-Pro. So,
Keep in mind, like this guy played when African Americans weren't really, treated so well. I mean, we're still not, but I mean, like it was even, I would say, worse because it was so much more blatant. And that was just I mean, he had everything between the field, which if you're a fan of football, you know how hard it is, and so much is going on there. And yes, maybe simpler times, and we've made it harder as far as the game of football. But to know that he has all these other things outside of football going on, and then he befriends the guy he's competing for a job with, and ends up being like one of his best friends, and has to deal with death, and do that in a Hall of Fame career.
yeah.
In a short one. I don't know, man. Like it's just the person that he was. It's hard to even like for us because it's not like he was out front for our maturity. You know what I'm saying, of watching the game of football. But it's it's he should have been, and they should have. I feel like speak his name more frequently when you talk about the great running backs.
Mm-hmm.
You go, I mean, because when people have conversations, all you speak about are the ones that that you saw. You don't typically go back to when Gale Sayers. I didn't watch football when Gale Sayers was playing. The running back for the Chicago Bears, when I actually knew what football was Walter Payton.
Mm-hmm.
So um, for us fans of sports, that we should probably recognize the past a little bit more and really, shine light on the positive feeling that they brought to your organization or just a sport that you love even more so, because he should have been. I think he definitely should have been spoken about a little bit more as
Mm-hmm.
one of the great running backs. So
Yeah. So rest in peace, Gale. Condolences, obviously, to him and his
family,
family, and
the Chicago Bears
yeah,
organization.
absolutely.
But I mean, he did live
And
a long life, so
and Bears went out and came back from a 20-point deficit to beat the Falcons today in honor of him,
yeah. Oh,
with Nick Foles behind center. How about
yeah.
that?
I saw people getting on the Foles train.
Hey, better lucky than good sometimes. 3
You
and
know,
0.
I'm kind of taking Foles from kind of taking to the Eagles. I really hope they stop using Jalen Hurts as a running back.
The
I
Eagles,
mean, yeah,
they've been doing that.
he had like 2 rushes today.
Hmm.
I didn't
Like
like.
as quarterback or literally
I didn't
lined
get to
up
see the
behind.
highlight. I saw the
Stat
box
line.
score, the
Yeah.
box, and I saw that he ran for like two attempts today, and I'm like, here's the thing: if he's only rushed, he didn't pass it all. You're not using him as a fucking quarterback, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
You're gonna get the kid hurt.
I would agree. I think that could be silly.
um, let's see what else we got. we got Big Ten back. We didn't. I don't know if we talked about this.
Mhm.
As far as oh no, it was not the Big Ten being back. It was the fact that the AP ratings came out today.
Oh yeah.
And they included the Big Ten. I think did I tell you the Pac-7 was gonna or Pac-7, the Pac. Well, they're playing 7 games, so I mean they might as well be the Pac-7. But anyways, they released the new AP ratings with or standings, excuse me, with the Big Ten and Pac-12 in there, and we were kind of talking about before the game or before this is our game, but before the pod. What did you think about that list? I mean, where they placed like the Big Ten at and all that.
I literally just scrolled down and complained about U of M's ranking. So let me actually take a look at everyone else.
Ohio State was up there like
6.
Yeah, I was gonna say
they need to be ahead of Notre Dame. They need to be ahead of Georgia and Florida. They should be number 3.
They haven't played a game, so it makes sense,
I get it. Not a lot of Pac-12, is there?
No.
I mean, I think it is what it is, man. You got Ohio State, Penn State, Wisconsin, Michigan, 4 teams. I would say that's appropriate. I mean, some of these teams have already got some wins under their belt, so they're going to be boosted a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially the way Miami just destroyed Florida State the other night.
I was going to say, and there were a couple of upsets.
LSU got upset. So, I mean, to just take teams who haven't even played this season and just say, we're just going to scramble this up and we're going to put them where we think they deserve to be as of right now. I guess it just kind of is what it is. Once again, man, I feel like there's such a big asterisk on this season. Like everything's just all jumbled and screwed up, and like it's just hard for me to take any of this like seriously. And I think I don't mean to come off like too harsh, you know what I mean? Because I already know once October 24th comes and we have kickoff and all that fun stuff, like it's gonna be dope. But once again, like you and I kind of already touched on it, man. Like at this point, I'm just looking forward to watching my team play football because it's more football for me to play. As far as the rest of this goes, like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm fully bought in on the season as a whole. It still hasn't hit me yet. I don't know. Maybe if I was a Clemson fan or you know what I mean? Like, or SEC
Alabama
guy,
or something like that,
guy, I would feel different. It's just, when you're missing 2 power conferences, it's just funky. It's just funky.
We got
just is what it is.
4 or 5 Big Ten teams in the top 25.
3.
Well, no, 4? You got 4. You got. I was gonna say you got Ohio State, Wisconsin,
Penn State,
and Michigan. Which I thought I knew that they had to rank Michigan, and I was just like, you know what, like 23 I can just deal with. At least they didn't put them in the top fucking 10 or even top 20.
Yeah.
Because then you just respect them.
Count your blessings. When you got Michigan fans admitting that they don't know how they're going to be this season, and then they get ranked top 25, like they're just there because I feel like people think they deserve to be there, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, like, here I go. Let me put on my hateration cape. I think it's just off name alone. I mean, Mixon, is that his name? Nixon? I don't know. The kid, he's like 6'8". He's the quarterback for Michigan this year. You see him a couple times periodically throughout the season, but nothing. I mean, because Shea Patterson took over the entire season.
I mean, dude, they finished 9-4 last year.
Like I guess I don't get why they're...
that like you don't finish 9-4 and go 23rd in the country.
Yeah, like I mean that's what I'm saying.
Team,
like
non-biased.
You lose the quarterback, you lose the receivers.
Country, that's where you should be. Like
was it Peoples Jones wasn't his senior or his last year? Mm-hmm. That sounds stupid, but you get what I'm saying, right? His last season was last year. So I mean, like you don't have your number one receiver, you don't have your quarterback. even using the primary same running back there, like I don't get why they get ranked. It's bewildering to me.
Their name.
Now, Michigan State not getting ranked makes sense.
It completely makes sense. I would be more upset if Michigan State got ranked, because then I
Right.
knew something was fucked up.
I'll tell you what, the sleeper app, they're slow to fucking update their scores.
Mm-hmm.
But they sure are right on it. I know a big play happens or a touchdown happens before I even see it on TV.
Yeah, same. I actually
With
turned them off because my app kept fucking up the games for me.
Oh, I feel you. So, what else we got? We got anything more football related?
No, sir.
You don't feel anything? Did you put yourself on mute?
No? Can you not hear me?
No, I can hear you. It was just
okay.
like the hesitation of the answer was just like.
Well, I shook my head and then I remembered I got to verbalize.
Yeah. I've only been talking this thing for 2 years. So I want to, moving into NBA action, I want to kind of touch base on before I start getting all hype machine. Something that came across my desk this week was the fact that the Raptors are in a shitload of trouble, or are they? And I wanted to get your opinion on this. So the Toronto Raptors this offseason these are their free agents: Fred VanVleet, Serge Ibaka, and Marc Gasol. All right. So you gotta figure out, those are three huge parts of why that team is any good. You got Kyle Lowry for only one more year. Left on his contract, I guess I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Out of everybody, I mean, so let's just talk about the free agents. Who's your priority there?
Out of those three?
Yeah. Who do you let walk?
Serge Ibaka.
Yeah.
Age. Solely.
I was thinking Marc Gasol.
I was thinking either of those two. I thought Fred VanVleet would probably be the guy you'd want to try and get back.
Mm-hmm.
I would say especially if you can keep him with Kyle Lowry, like get Lowry an extension sooner than later and get those two guys to keep your backcourt solid. Yeah. I think that would be extremely important for Toronto at this point. But I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know Ibaka and Gasol's age off the top of my head, nor does it matter. They've been in the league for quite a while. I would say either of those guys at this point, like if they have to walk, then it just is what it is. I'm also not educated on who else in the NBA will be a free agent coming off this season.
Yeah, I should look into that because I didn't have that
because like then there may be some guys out there that you're just going to plug in for one of these bigs, and Toronto could be just fine. But yeah, man, I think the big question there, is if Lowry doesn't stay. I mean, that's kind of like your bread and butter. That's your staple point of Toronto right now. Like, he's the guy. So I think that would be kind of interesting to see how that plays out. Oh, I guess you got
Rosen.
No, I was gonna say Siakam. Isn't Siakam?
Oh yeah, slippery slam.
Slippery slamming. Siakam. Siakam.
Dude, I could pull this. I might get my first dub in the fucking other league. Sorry.
Looking at fantasy football when we're talking about. He goes, Clay, so go ahead and take 10 minutes. Tell me what you think about this Toronto Raptors offseason. And then after 10 minutes, I will then chime in.
Yeah, no, it won't be about basketball. No, I completely agree.
Bro, I told you in the other league that you were gonna win. I said that before we started recording.
I just didn't know for sure.
What do you mean you didn't know for sure?
Because it wasn't.
You really think? Oh, never mind. I was playing Ben. I'm playing Ben in the other. He's for sure. There's no Aaron Jones and Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Not scoring 17 points.
No, I mean, for him, I was looking at me.
Yeah. I'm playing you in your league.
I'm gonna fight for my life.
I'm playing you in your league.
Yeah, and I feel confident there. I gotta believe that. I got Kamara now, and then Mahomes tomorrow. So, yeah, no, I just thought it was just kind of crazy. Like, do you think that they're gonna be competitive going forward?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you had to look at the program just snapshot right now from the information that you have, do you think they got enough to be able to keep in the bank to stay competitive? And how much are you really going to pay Fred VanVleet?
You're asking the wrong guy.
He's like, I know my wheelhouse, buddy.
I feel like they had short-term success. I don't see them being like some solid franchise for years to come.
I mean, they were one of your big teams, not one of your big teams, but I mean, like, you definitely talked high on them.
Well, because
going
one
into
season
the
off,
season,
and they didn't get any worse. They lost one player, which was Kawhi, and I know he was by far their best player,
right?
But he didn't make them shit. But if you start losing 3 of these guys and then Kyle Lowry's a question mark, it's too hard for me to say right here without knowing how serious they are about Kyle Lowry to say long term I think they're still money. Plus, I'll be honest, I'm just not educated enough in the NBA to know who they could pick up and, like I say, and who's coming off contracts. Like, who? Let's just say, let's get crazy. Hopefully, it doesn't happen. What if Ant decides to go to fucking Toronto? Then all of a sudden now Toronto's fucking, you know what I mean? Serious contenders in the East. Like, there's so many question marks out there. But what I will say,
they got a lot of money because they didn't lose any money on re-signing Kawhi. Even though
but what I will say is, even losing those 3 that you just named, that would be a huge blow. I think VanVleet being the biggest blow.
Yeah.
You can't lose your point guard.
Do what you can do to get him re-signing. If
I agree.
You can
That's why I said if they can get
sign one of the other 2, then great.
Him and Kyle Lowry, if they can keep that for another 3-4 years, I think they can plug and play some bigs around Siakam with them to still find some success and be relevant. Plus, let's be honest, East is weak. They don't need much to stay relevant if they can keep that backcourt with Siakam.
But they go from being like the top. I mean, because they
weren't the top as soon as Kawhi left.
Okay.
Which I was still saying. I was just saying don't sleep on them. Which obviously, I mean, they still had a decent run. They got further than at least what you thought. But I mean, you see like the Celtics, how young they are and how damn good they look.
The Heat
will change a little bit. Just like you'll lose like Iguodala, like you'll lose Udonis Haslem. You're going to lose some of these guys, obviously, who are a little older vets. But when you got Tyler Hero stepping up, Duncan Robinson balling out, Jimmy Buckets, it finally looks like he's somewhere he's actually happy playing basketball, which is huge for him.
Win. All he ever wanted to do was win.
But he wants to win and play he just wants to play ball, but he likes having the freedom of playing his way.
Yeah.
And I think he finally found a place that they said, yo, do what you need to do.
Yeah.
I mean, he even came out and said, he goes, I like how in Miami they allow us to talk to each other as like brothers, as teammates, and we work through adversity together however they see fit or however we see fit. They're obviously being given, I want to say a power, but they're given the space and the freedom to coach each other and keep each other in check rather than like, that's my job, not your job, Jimmy. I'm the coach. I yell at the play. Like, they're literally like, yo, guys, we're going to give you as many tools as we can. Here's the blueprint, but I need y'all to go out there and do it.
So you being a former Miami Heat fan.
Excuse me. I
said former. I was
never a Heat fan.
Was that?
I was never a Heat fan.
Well, you had to be because LeBron was on them. So
you can be a fan of a player without rooting for the team.
Yeah, but you wanted the team to win, so he won a championship.
I wanted LeBron to win. It just happened to be that the Heat were also with him.
So here's my question.
I don't own the Heat gear.
What's that?
I don't own the Heat gear.
Okay, I'll let you go by there. Okay. You're more of a Laker fan than you are a Heat or a Cavs fan.
You know what? Yeah, I'm a Heat fan. Fuck it.
I got a question for you about Eric Spoelstra.
Mm-hmm.
Because you definitely paid attention because he was coaching your guy.
Yeah.
This run here, does this kind of solidify him as a coach? I mean,
I would say, sorry to cut you off. Did you?
No, you got what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Though.
So I would say, and it's funny that you bring this up because I was actually thinking of this in the last round when they played Milwaukee.
Yep.
And I was just like, man, I go, Spoelstra is still winning. And I go, if anything, you could argue that he's been more successful with this team than he was when Braun was there. And Wade was there. Bosch was there. I mean, they're taking teams out 4-1 in series right now. Boston is giving them the most trouble, and they're at 3-2 lead still. And what I would say is, I think it's fair to say that when the Big Three was in Miami, a lot of people gave Spoelstra shit because it was LeBron's team. And I think we can all universally agree that when Bron goes places, he has a huge say in a lot of things.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that doesn't mean Spoelstra didn't still learn and grow from that opportunity and time during his career. He probably took a lot from that leadership of those vets, and he's probably carrying that into these younger teams that he has now. So I will say that Spoelstra has probably improved as a coach since the Big Three was in Miami. I mean, because that was what, 2011, 2010, 2011, 2012. It was during all that time.
I was going to say LeBron left in like 2009.
Yeah, because I think it was right when I was coming out of high school or shortly after.
Yeah.
So so my point being is I mean, he's been coaching for another 7 or 8 years since he was with those guys, 6-7 years, somewhere in that boat.
Yeah.
So my point being is I think he's still grown. I think he gets more credit now. But I will also say that before they picked up Jimmy Butler and before Tyler Hero became, which first of all, he's just having a crazy rookie postseason. So that's awesome for him.
It.
Before Duncan Robinson came in, before Iguodala joined up, before this Heat team, they still had some low seasons after the Big Three disbanded. Yeah. So it ain't like Spoelstra's been hot ever since they left. But I will still say it's evident that Spoelstra has still improved as a coach, and I think he gets more credit now than he did when LeBron, Wade, and Bosch were in Miami. I think that would be fair to say.
Do you think that there's some nepotism maybe is somewhere down the line, some historic way that Pat Riley has decided to just make it so Eric Spoelstra is relevant again because of the fact that Pat Riley led Laker teams to the finals, championships. He took the fucking Knicks, and then he worked the magic to make it so you guys had the Big Three down there in Miami. Is this? I'm trying to this. I kind of led you into this question, but I mean, or is this just another piece of the mastermind of Pat Riley and knowing how to put together the right components of people as far as a team goes? Knowing that Spoelstra, I mean, because Spoelstra could have stood back and let Dwayne Wade and LeBron James coach the team. You know what I mean? Hey, just play the game. And they got that alpha like a LeBron or a Dwayne Wade and Jimmy Butler, and just said, all right, you coach the team you want to play, and as long as they follow you, then you're good to go.
I actually don't even understand the question. He just kept going and lost me. But what I mean, are you basically saying is Pat Riley putting Spoelstra in a place to be a successful coach?
Yeah, I mean, you think I was going to say basically is it more Pat Riley or is it more Spoelstra? In your opinion, you can't have a really deep dive piece on that one.
I mean, I would say that any coach and GM, I would say typically if you see successful coaches and GMs, actually, Pat Riley is owner though, isn't he? Or is he GM?
He's GM. He probably owns a piece of it.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah, I thought he did. Nonetheless, I think they have to go hand in hand. I think if the GM, let's say Pat Riley and Spoelstra didn't get along, they butt heads all the time. I don't think there would be as much success. One, I don't think Pat Riley would put up with it. He's way too successful with his tenure and his career in the NBA to put up with some bullshit from a head coach. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think they have to go hand in hand. But what I will say is I think Pat Riley has obviously done a good enough job to find someone who understands his mindset of the game to try and put that team in a successful position. So, I mean, I give Pat Riley credit for keeping Spoelstra, teaching Spoelstra, but I give Spoelstra credit because, You know, he obviously comes off as he comes off as a player's coach though. Like he doesn't come off as in like we're gonna do it my way. If not, like see the door. Like he's just like, yo, like how does this team tick? What makes this team successful? Correct. I mean, you talking about Brian Flores?
Yeah.
I would disagree, obviously, because Flores is 100% a player's coach.
No, I'm just saying, like it was like, yo, you buy in and you're out, and which wasn't bad. I was.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Well, but Flores was also doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
I feel like Miami, not to get off topic from basketball, but the Miami Dolphins needed a culture check and a culture change. Period.
Certainly.
That place was just toxic. Your Lions definitely need it. I think Bob Quinn's got to go. I think Patricia's got to go. I think Bob Quinn has done some good things, and for Detroit, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's found some good talent. I was talking to Ben about it earlier, actually, and I told him, I was like, I'm not saying Bob Quinn has failed, but Bob Quinn hasn't done enough to change Detroit's success. It's the same shit every year. Doesn't matter if the coach leaves. Doesn't matter if the players or your organization goes in a different direction. Like there needs to be like a complete 180, go the other direction and something completely fresh.
Yeah.
So to get back to the Miami Heat, I think Spoelstra's just working with what he has, and I think he earns the trust and the respect of his team. So therefore that team, busts ass because they're basically doing it like for each other. Like I don't feel like when you look at the Miami organization, we'll say since the Big Three's disbanded, it doesn't feel like a one-man show. Like Houston, to me, that is James Harden's team. If you're on James Harden's team, make sure James Harden eats. The rest of you do your job. That's how I see the Houston Rockets. You know what I mean? But then you go to, let's say, the Lakers right now, for example, and even with LeBron James, the most polarizing player in the freaking universe, he still includes his team so much that I don't feel like it's LeBron's team. Like, do what LeBron wants or everybody's out. LeBron will give you the ball and trust that you're going to make the three because you better just do your damn job. I feel like sometimes I wish LeBron would have more of the mentality of this is my team, give me the ball and get the fuck away from me. Kind of have that Mamba mentality, if I may. But That's just not how he plays. That's never how he'll ever play unless Game 7's on the line and he's like, yo, I got to put the team on my back. You saw what he did. You saw what he did last night.
And I was gonna say, so one of the things I like, and I get it. As I saw, like I was watching something where it just showed a bunch of highlights of, like he had this little fadeaway shot. I don't think it's clutch move fadeaway shot. You know what I mean? And he does this little shot where he's always fading away. And
he's off balance. That's all of his jump shots. I don't like it.
Yeah, that's what and I'm just like, you know what? Like, stop. Because you're missing more than you're making right now, and it's driving me up a wall. But then when he actually does what LeBron James does, and that fucking drive to the rack and just wreck shit, guess what the fuck happens? We start winning.
Mm-hmm.
Now he did have some fucking long ball shots last night. I think he had like 2 threes and like a long 2,
mm-hmm.
Kind of back to back, and and I respect it. I respect those makes, but I'm just like, if you would stop fading away and just do a regular jump shot like you normally do, or just attack the rim like you normally do, we're still going to get those points, and we're probably going to get you'll end up with, not that he's a stat guy, but he would end up with more points as well if he just stood up and took another regular shot. Because I feel like more times than not, the guy that's guarding him is smaller than him.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And
they're so big, and he creates so much space. The fadeaway is unnecessary.
And it's just really fucking with me. It's driving me up a wall. And I think I meant to bring this up last podcast. That's kind of the reason why I'm going. I'm like, if you saw that on camera, yeah, I drooled on myself. But I know we're going to the finals right now, but I don't want a fadeaway jumper. Kobe did a fadeaway jumper.
Only when necessary.
When necessary. Michael did the fadeaway jumper when necessary. You got mad space and you fading away. Stop, and just fucking dominate like you do. Mm-hmm. Nobody in this fucking league can guard him. I will hands down say that, and that's just not Laker favoritism. I've always said, he's just a piece of my cog for a championship. I respect what I get to see on a regular basis, but stop doing that fadeaway, man, and just win. Which he did.
Mm-hmm.
And he did what you said. He kind of put the team on his back the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm. Ant's been doing it too, though.
Oh, Ant's been balling, dude.
But yeah, LeBron had what, 38, 16, and 10?
Yeah,
39,
like
16, and 10?
I thought he had 17, but I mean, give or take, whatever.
38, 16, and 10. I added up.
All right.
Beast. Anthony Davis, 27, 5, and 5. Yeah, dude, Lakers are looking good.
I wish we'd be harder in the fourth quarter. That fourth quarter bullshit drives me up a wall. Because everybody's shooting threes. Everybody shoots threes. We probably 5 times out of 6, we shoot threes on the up and down.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking frustrating. I know I cut you off, but I mean that whole 3-point shot is stupid. We're so much bigger than everybody else. Let's just score 2s and keep it fucking moving.
Yeah, no, I agree.
What I cut you off on? I'm sorry. You've been frozen forever, so I don't even know what's going on in your world.
I honestly don't even remember.
We were talking about LeBron.
Yeah, I don't know if I was going anywhere. Dominating. I think I was just riffing though. Like I was just going off of the stuff we were talking about.
Yeah. It's I mean, Danny Green not missing way more than he makes. That's a little frustrating. Now, I honestly believe it doesn't matter who we play in the finals. We got